Today I'm chatting with Kimberly, who does solo hikes all over Europe, including the Dolomites. We're gonna chat about how she got started, how to stay safe, and how you can get started with your solo hiking adventures. Andiamo. Talk about how did you get into solo hiking?
So I've always been one of those people that's just kind of into hiking. I've always been outdoors and nature. It's a space to just like reconnect because we're always on this thing, the phone,
Yes.
computer. And I think it's just wanting to like leave this alone, like this phone, and just set it down and just go see places and just, be immersed in culture. Like in Korea, when my husband would be at work. I'm also child free, so not a lot of military spouses are child free.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, they've got kids, they can't go hiking with me. Okay, so I'm just going to go do this on my own. The payoff was great because I would go off and I would hike and I was scared shitless. I was like, especially in Korea because it's hot, it's humid, it's
Hmm.
lots of different things. The language barrier, for as much as I sat and I tried to learn Hangul or Korean, like it just
Yeah.
didn't come to me, right?
So how
Um,
did you find like your first place to go? What's your advice for women to find?
don't laugh at me when I say this. Google Maps. It's just a matter of just, opening up Google Maps. And if I
Okay.
showed you my Google map, you would be disgusted by me. Because I literally go through and I'm like, oh, that looks like a good hike. Okay, I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna do that one
But you're
next.
looking at the satellite, like what are you
Yeah.
searching?
So
You're
it'll
just
pop
zooming
up with
in?
like little bubbles, right? And you'll see Cascata di Scienza or like Strada del Ponale in like Garda. So you'll see all these little bubbles pop up and you're like, ooh, what's this? I'm just gonna go hike this one. You just open up your maps, like you're looking at Italy, right? And you just zoom in and you'll
Gotcha.
find like Sentiero, like something, like that means hiking path, whatever. And it'll show you all these little
Um,
hiking paths all over.
Gotcha.
Beautiful mind stuff.
It is just funny. How many of these solo hikes do you do a year on average?
I will go out like on any random day, like just to do a day hike, but the treks require more planning. So
Okay.
that is like a year-long planning process. Anything that involves the Dolomites, Altavia 1, Altavia 2, the
Okay.
Palaronda trek, or anything that's long distance, you have to reserve a year ahead of time now because they're getting so
Oh,
popular. There are booking platforms that you can go onto and promote one because they're Italian and it keeps it
okay.
in-house in Italy and they
Nice.
help promote the regions. But it's
Uh-huh.
called the Dolomist. They're a group of young guys. I'm going to say that because they're a lot younger than I am. Matteo, David, and I can't remember the third guy's name, but they created this company to promote local small, slow trails. And one of them is the
Okay.
Made Trek. And that's the one I did at the end of August. And it was 4 days. You can find it on their
Wow.
website. It's part of, I only did like 2 sections, I believe, but it's 200 kilometers total. I only did
Okay.
about 30, 40 kilometers. And it was one of the most majestic hikes I've ever done because it's in the Friulian Alps. So
Okay.
Friuli, Venezia, Giulia. I'm probably butchered that. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue like it should, but that's the next region next to me, closer to Slovenia, like Trieste is, and
Yeah.
not Treviso quite yet. I don't know if that's actually in Friuli. I can't
So 4 days. So where do you sleep? Is that part of the package you book? You sleep you like
You sleep in mountain huts. So
okay.
they set
As
up
you can see, I know nothing about hiking.
That's okay. That's okay. So what I love about the system of hiking here in Europe is they all have huts. They book everything for you if you use a guided or like an agency and you basically hike for about I want to say like 15 kilometers if that's a long day. And it's through elevated hikes. So you have quite a bit of
Ooh.
elevation gain. And it's some of them are hellacious, like the Altavia 2 and the Altavia 1.
Which means what? Sorry. Oh, just a lot of hills?
It's mountains, like
Oh.
high elevation mountains, like
Oh,
alpine.
gotcha.
Yeah, so you're not walking on hills. It's more like this. So, like one example is the Pale de San Martino, which is in Belluno, is just north of me in the Dolomites. So you can do what's called the Palaronda trek. And it's 4 days high alpine hiking, one of the worst hikes I've ever done. Do not recommend if you are like out of shape. Not recommend during the beginning of the season because of ice and snow.
Okay.
But
Is that
that
when
is
you posted that you were scared?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, because the last day was hellacious. But that's a great example. I booked that through Book of Trekking. They told me the Altavia 1 South was full, so I couldn't finish the Altavia 1. So I was like, "Ah." They referred me to the Palo Rondo trek, and I did that, and I was way over my head. Like
Got you.
it was crazy. But that's an example. Like you can do 4 days, you can do 8 days. People take a long time to do them, like over a long stretch of time. How did I work myself up to that? I just went out and did it. I knew I wanted to do it, and it called to me, and I wanted to see
Got
more of
you.
the Dolomites. Anyways, hiking. It's just a matter of finding something that speaks to you. And
Right.
this most current trek, the Made trek, the Dolomist actually will take you to places where they want you to experience culture. They want you to
Nice.
understand the land. They want you to understand the history. The food is a big thing. And
Nice.
this,
You like
yeah,
food.
the food is amazing. So it was really interesting because you start out in this beautiful town called Chima Zapata, and you go up to a historic refugio with World War I trenches,
Wow.
and you've got marmots around you. I had a guide my first day, Tiziana, and she was wonderful.
Nice.
And that connection was something that I will never forget because I felt closer to the area, and this hike was amazing. I don't know how to tell people properly. Like this
Right.
hike was just one of the most
So it's
beautiful things I've
so
ever
it's
done.
like your favorite right now, that hike?
I would say so. Everybody
Mm.
says the Altavia 1 and 2 are amazing, but the Made trek, anyone could anyone could do it. It's a long stretch the second day, but I think anybody that had the heart and the determination and
Yeah.
they knew that they were physically ready, they could totally
Yeah.
do it.
A woman who wants to maybe start solo hiking, maybe even here in the US or abroad, like what are your tips that you have and why do you think it's a good idea?
It's always hard to talk about safety because safety is a personal thing, but especially
Mhm.
when it comes to hiking, I say start small. Start small in your area and then get bigger, like a circle, right? Like just radiate out.
Mhm.
Find hikes that are more like, I guess, not technical, but longer, and then keep going from there. But also researching what you need, like your bear spray, knife, like getting a knife, and that anybody like wants to, you're out there alone. Have
Yeah,
all of these things like a GPS tracker with you when you do those long distance hikes.
right. And I'm
Knowing,
sure there's like shoes, gear, the kind of bags, the things that you take.
yes, and that was a headache, just trying to figure it out. Relied on quite a few hikers I knew in my life that kind of
Okay.
helped me out. My husband hikes a lot, does all the stuff with the army, so
Yeah.
he kind of helped me with like my kit, my first aid kit, what I needed. I looked to another blog. It's called Moon Honey
Yes,
Travel.
yes, I love
Yeah,
them.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
great. And I saw them doing things. I looked at some of their like videos, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yes, yes, Moon
Like,
Honey Travel.
I can do it. Yeah. So having people like that to like kind of emulate and like kind of
Mhm.
look up to, it's really inspiring.
What do you feel when you're out there or when you're like going through a challenge and you're like, "Oh, I did it, I reached the end of this trail or these days or that one hike." Like, what is the feeling? Why do you keep
Ah,
doing it? Like, what do you love about it?
the chance to connect with myself. I think we're so connected to the internet, and like
Yeah,
just as much as I do about always like looking at like your stats on Instagram
yeah,
and
all the
looking at this,
time.
right?
Right.
So it's just like I'm gonna disconnect from this and just go and just be by myself to have my
Yeah. I want that too. I
yeah,
mean, not in a hiking sense, but that's part of the reason why I chose Sicily as well, because there
yeah.
is a lot of nature, there's the beach, there's mountains. I'm like, "Oh, I just wish we didn't have these phones." Like, if I could do things and think for myself. What time of year do you think is best that might not be so crowded?
So I would say September, October, because
Okay.
you're definitely end of September into October. You're getting all those beautiful fall colors. And,
Yeah,
there are people that are traveling from around Europe to the Dolomites, but it's not as crowded as it is in July and August,
got
at least
you.
from my opinion and what I've seen. And the last place that I would choose, but I would push this up to the top, definitely Cima Zapata and Friuli Venezia Giulia. Somebody's going to kill me if I said
A
that.
long name to
It
pronounce.
is.
We need like an abbreviation.
Yeah, I know. But that is actually in like the region next to me. There's these beautiful valley hikes that you can do, and you can take a lot of the cable cars up to kind of ease that elevation gain. I really feel like that's a great place to start because you still get the views, and then you still get to have that achievement because you're there. You know, you're there and you're doing it. So
Boss has been like amazing and like so inspired. I think you give so much tip. But where can people find you? Where can people follow you, follow your work?
So I am on Instagram, Kimberly Kephart Travels. It's all across the board, the same thing. You'll on all of my socials like TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, and my blog, KimberlyKephartTravels.com.
Much. I knew this would be amazing. You are so inspiring and passionate about your solo hikes. Yeah. Everyone, go follow Kim for more inspiration. Even if you don't hike or ever will, I think just watching the videos that you post about hiking, it just inspires me, and it does make me want to be with nature, not necessarily hiking, but with nature.
You know, just go find a trail. Just go find
somewhere. Get off your phone.
and like, get off your phone and what is it? Forest bathe. Just go bathe in a forest or wherever you are, like I don't know, a trail next to a beach with a pina colada. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Kim. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day.